Hey, yo, what's good though? Soul here and welcome back to the story mode. So I've been trying to get into kind of a rhythm as you have seen on the channel with uploading consistently, and so therefore I decided to edit a couple of things that have been just kind of sitting on my hard drive and I wanted to get them off. This video is one of those things. However, this video was recorded almost a month ago now. So just keep that in mind while watching because there may be some things that I may have figured out by now or that may be outdated in terms of what I knew at that point. But other than that, I think it's good to go. Go ahead and take it away past me. All right. What's good, y'all? Soul here, and welcome back to my story mode. So, as given by the title and the thumbnail, it's no mystery that we are once again going to be talking about Dragon Ball Sparking Zero today. Now, I just want to talk for a quick second, because oh my goodness, this game is absolutely something else. So much something else that it has pulled me away from doing proper YouTube for a hot minute. We haven't done this in a hot minute as far as I'm concerned, and I apologize for that. This is the standard of the videos here, so don't worry, we're gonna get back on track. I've got a good couple of videos that are just waiting to be edited for you guys, and we'll get right back on track with this, right? Especially because there's a couple of things that I really want to talk about before the end of this year, so don't worry, we're gonna get right back on track. Secondly, I have another big project in the works for you guys. Now, I obviously have a lot of big projects planned for my main channel, for this channel, but I have another project for something else, so stay tuned for that. It's very in tune with what we're talking about today. It's pretty obvious what I'm going to probably say, but we'll talk about it at the end of the video. Okay, with all of that being said, let's finally get to the topic at hand. Sparking Zero has been with us for at the very least about 2 weeks or so now, and everybody and their mamas are enjoying this game to hell and back. It is just so amazing to see how many people have been just so invested these last couple of weeks, learning techs and enjoying the story mode and just enjoying Dragon Ball again, and it's so awesome. I obviously love this game to hell and back, so much so that I put out a couple of videos of me just playing ranked online and stuff like that and having a grand old time. I want to be able to do more stuff like that. However, before we get to the meat and potatoes of just enjoying the game, we should talk about our experience for the first 2 weeks here. I would like to talk about 7 things that I love about Dragon Ball Sparking Zero and 7 things that I don't so much love about Sparking Zero so far. Again, it's very early in the lifetime. There is going to be years probably worth of content, and we're probably going to get a lot of different updates and changes to the game because this is going to be one of those games that lasts a very long time. If Xenoverse 2 can last as long as it did, Sparking is going to last an eternity. Okay, so let's go ahead and get that straight now. And so, with all that being said, why don't we go ahead and get into 7 things I love and 7 things I hate about Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. The first thing that I absolutely love is the graphics. This game, upon boot up, is absolutely beautiful. It is just so pretty to look at. The cell shading is so nice, and the way that they modeled these characters are just so genuinely pretty, and it's absolutely insane that a 3D arena fighter of this caliber is easily able to keep up and even surpass fighters in a lot of different aspects in terms of graphical capabilities. It's truly amazing what they were able to do when they were really able to lock in. This game looks absolutely beautiful, and never mind the fact that a lot of these ultimates and supers and things like that are pretty much band for band with the manga. We are getting legitimate like manga and anime clips and panels with these moves and everything like that. Seeing Goku's Super Saiyan 4 Goku's Dragon Fist right out of the series, like, oh my god, not even Super Saiyan 4, Super Saiyan 3's, man. Him going for that crazy Dragon Fist and him hitting the pose if he wins the battle with that, oh my god. That is a beautiful thing, man. Hitting MC the Limit Breaker God Kamehameha in blue is beautiful, man. They really did rip a lot of these scenes right from the anime, and I could not be happier about that. This game is so incredibly pretty to look at, and I truly will get, I won't ever get enough of that. I truly won't. Second thing I love is the general gameplay. The general gameplay is absolutely astounding. It is so insane how good this game feels to just generally play. Like, literally getting into most characters, like, or generally any character, the game just feels good. Everything feels so incredibly fluid. it's truly insane how fluid this game feels, and it rarely have I ever had any kind of issues, really. It's locked in at a very set 60 frames. I've never had any frame drops whatsoever. I've never had any issues in terms of graphical capabilities or any lag or anything like that, really. I mean, lag, of course, online, you know, depending on the connection, but even then, it's rare. Like, when the online is working, that bitch works, okay? It is putting in overtime. It is awesome. We love to see it, all right? So, generally speaking, the gameplay just feels so fluid, and being able to just hone into my inner child self and be able to unlock you know, the capabilities of playing like I used to back in Budokai Tenkaichi 3 against my homies, that is really, really cool. That I can feel the heart of the Budokai Tenkaichi series within this game so heavily. It's just ingrained in there, so much so that it pulls a part of me out that I thought was long gone. And it's truly, truly incredible to be able to unlock that power, to get back that power I thought that I thought was lost to me. So, yeah, the gameplay feels absolutely incredible. I literally, going into it, thought that I was gonna have so much trouble getting a handle on the controls. It's pretty much gonna be muscle memory to me very soon. Like, it's already pretty much muscle memory to me now. Even when I'm not playing, if I'm watching something or whatever, whenever I'm thinking about the game, I'm thinking of text I can use and things like that to get around certain opponents and things like that. It's so weird how quickly I got adjusted to this game. But also, not really. We'll get into it, but the story mode really does help you get adjusted to how to utilize the controls and things like that. It really helps. If you're new to the game, I highly recommend just hopping into story mode for a good couple of hours to get well adjusted to the game, because it will make you get adjusted to the game, man. I'm telling you. But overall, gameplay just looks and feels so good, and it feels so Dragon Ball. It really does feel like you're playing an anime. It's crazy how impossible, you know, most games when in development make it seem to get this kind of a feeling, to make it feel like you're actually playing the anime. Dragon Ball hit it on the nose again, and this time better than ever. Truly, truly an incredible feat. So, gameplay is absolutely elite. Of course, after that, the absolute sheer amount of characters available in this game is something to behold, man. Now, I get it. A lot of people will tell you and agree that it's kind of cheating a little bit, because they kind of pulled a Pokemon where it's like, oh, we have 182 characters, when a very good chunk of those characters are just transformations and stuff like that. But in reality, you gotta think about this, man. Every single one of those transformations has a completely different kit. Sometimes they start moving completely differently from, you know, the original character. And so I think it's more than fair of them to say that if they developed these transformations, all of them having different, like, move sets and layouts and things like that, I think it's more than fair to count a transformation as a different character. I don't care what anybody says. This game has 182 goddamn characters, man. If they want to say that it has that many, they can absolutely say that, because they put in the time, effort, and work to make sure that we know the difference between all of these characters and their transformations. But it's the fact that we have 180 plus, and we're not even done. That's the base roster. We still have the Daima pack. We still have 2 superhero packs or something like that. And who knows what else down the line, man. We have so many different things to look forward to, it's not even funny. And the fact that they respected most of the Dragon Ball series. Not only do we have OG Goku, but we have most of the Z characters, if not all of the Z characters. We have all of the movie characters, and we still got more movie characters on the way, and we have a good majority, if not all, of the GT and Super characters. We are missing a couple of GT characters, we'll get to that soon, but overall, for the base roster, we're stacked as hell. We're eating good out here, boy. We eating good out here, man. So, I'm just saying, it's good looking out here, man. Love the amount of characters. It makes choosing a character both overwhelming and just, you know, scary at the same time. You never know who your opponent's gonna pull out, and it's really, really something. After that, of course, the fact that the story mode, including the what ifs, make actually going through the story mode really worth it. right? Because you're gonna get a majority of your levels and your Zenny and a lot of characters and stuff like that from the story mode if you're actually participating in it. And you know, they, for the most part, they did their best to make it really rewarding. You know what I'm saying? You're getting a lot of different characters, you're getting a lot of money out of it, and the more you level up, the more access to stuff that you have in the shops, whether it be more characters to buy, more cosmetics to buy, or anything along those lines. It's truly really cool, and them adding the what ifs are what make this game's story mode. Because here's the thing, right? I've said it a million times over at this point, but we, as gamers, you and I that love Dragon Ball, we have experienced the story of Dragon Ball Z mostly a million times. We have played through the story of Dragon Ball a million times. Z specifically. Not so much OG or GT or even Super at this point, but we know that story like the back of our hands. I could tell you bar for bar everything that happens in pretty much every saga in terms of major plot points. So the fact that they gave us branching paths to make it so that our story mode could differentiate from somebody else's playtime or their playstyle and everything like that, it can delve off into one story, somebody else's story could delve off into another. It's so exciting to see what happens with all of that. It's really, really cool, makes it super, super worth it, and makes it really investing to actually go out of your way to complete certain challenges to get that diverging path. I appreciate the hell out of the what ifs, and I hope it's a mainstay. I really do hope that that's something of a mainstay for the series from now on in terms of the games, because Xenoverse has proven to us that we really need that kind of change to make it so that, you know, the story mode is worth pursuing in a Dragon Ball game. Because a lot of people were probably planning to, like, not even look at the story mode. They were gonna hop right into online. But honestly, if you've got the time, play some story mode, man. It's really, really good. And I'm telling you right now, no spoiler type B, go ahead and play Gohan's story for me. I'm not kidding. Go play Gohan's story right now if you haven't already. Jesus Christ, they cooked. And I'm gonna leave it at that. This kind of plays into my previous love, but another love that I have is the fact that the story mode, especially when you first start off, is actually kind of difficult. Those CPUs are absolutely ruthless. The reason that I said that it's probably a very good idea for people to hop into story mode first and really play for a couple of hours is because when I tell you that that game teaches you how to play, I mean that it forces you to learn the mechanics so that you can get around a lot of these fights. I know a lot of people, still talking about Grade 8 Vegeta, bro. It's crazy. Like, it took me a couple of tries, but I wasn't like screaming and crying. I was like, okay, this is... It caught me off guard a little bit. I'm like, oh my god, like, was he really moving like this back in the day? I don't remember, but he is a little bit of a pain in the ass. But, now that I'm adjusted to the game, I bought the game twice, fun fact, and I was working through the story mode on my Xbox version, and I got to Grade 8 Vegeta. Took me like 1 or 2 tries, something like that. I know the game now, so it's not too terrible, but that's the thing, right? The story mode teaches you how to play. It forces you to lock in and utilize mechanics that you didn't think you would need because you thought just going into, online and stuff like that would give you everything that you need. No, man. Let the story mode teach you how to play. It's the best way to get accustomed to those controls, and it's just the best way to get accustomed and, reach your potential with, a lot of the difficulty spikes that you're going to hit, especially the difference between going online and playing the story mode. So it helps. And I think that having that difficulty, making people learn, has made a lot of these battles, like online and stuff like that, a lot more intense because everybody was going through the same hellscape, trying to get through all of these battles against Grade 8 Vegeta or Zamasu, or if you're playing Jiren's story, you're gonna run into UI Goku, and he's a little bit of a pain in the ass. So, to put it mildly, thank you, guys, for making that story mode kick my ass and put me into shape, man, because that was a straight up boot camp. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all keep that good work going. Y'all keep that up. This is gonna be a weird one, but even 2 weeks later, I love the honesty that there is a very clear indication of imbalance in this game. They never hid the fact that this was not a true fighting game in the sense of something that you would see in Evo or something like that on, Evo stage, like Street Fighter or Tekken. It's nothing like that. It never was intended to be, though. This game, in the spirit of its development, was always made for the sake of being fun. yes, there is a ranked mode, and yes, there are leaderboards and stuff like that to show you who's the best with this character, who's the best player in general, how many points they're at, whatever, yada yada yada. The point of it though is to make it the spirit of, you know, it gives it a spirit of competition. It doesn't make it a true balanced fighting game, it just gives it a spirit of competition. And that's the thing, even when you're fighting characters that don't really seem like it's fair to fight against, the glory and the satisfaction of overcoming that with your favorite character who you might be at a disadvantage with is so freaking rewarding, man. It's always so awesome to be able to come out on top of any kind of fight against, let's just get this out the way now, any of the fusions, right? You're coming out on top with Bardock or Gohan or Oob or whatever. It's nice. It's a great feeling, because that's the kind of thing that tests you, that pushes you to become better at this game. Because once you've done that, you realize, I'm not relying on this game's meta, I'm not relying on the game's best to make me, to shape me into the warrior that I want to become. I'm becoming that through my own means, with my own character, with their own kit, and utilizing that in a way that works for me. And that is why that imbalance is so special to me. And I really hope that they don't do anything crazy in terms of patches. Maybe the most obvious fixes, you know, they could hit up. I don't want to even say it, but After Image Strike in general is busted. That move has no reason, no shot in heaven. That move is that broken. It's crazy, but that's just it, man. I love that imbalance. I love being able to overcome that, because when I do, I'm like, I'm built better sometimes. That's not really always the case. It's just me being dramatic. Anybody, you know, you're one loss, you're one win against whoever or whatever. It doesn't make you any worse at the game or anything like that. It just means, like, you know, there's a lot that you can learn, and there's a lot of mistakes that you can make, and you still have time to get better at the game. And that's truly something special. And I really like that the imbalance of this game has brought out the spirit of all of these warriors out here, man. I love that. I truly do love that. And then, of course, the most obvious thing that I love so much about this game is the potential and the longevity and the future of this game, right? Like I said earlier, this game is going to last us a very, very, very long time. We're going to have consistent updates. We're getting a lot of DLCs and things like that. And I have a wish list that I want to make very soon, that I'm probably going to make probably soon after this video, if we're being completely honest here. But there's just so many things that I want to see in this game going forward. Obviously, more characters, of course, but I want to see more music packs from all, you know, a bunch of different areas within Dragon Ball's history. I want to see more cosmetics and stuff like that for a lot of people within Dragon Ball's history, and, you know, things like that. There's a lot of things that this game could easily give us for years on end. They could give us more content from OG Dragon Ball, they could give us more content from Z, they could give us more content from Super, they could give us more content from GT, they can even pull from the what is the little, like, super non-canon, like, shorts that they had going on there, where they had Super Saiyan 4 Goku fighting UI. Crazy that they animated that, by the way. But anyway, they could pull from stuff like that, and then maybe a version of Bardock from Xenoverse and stuff like that, the one that has Super Saiyan all the way to Super Saiyan 3, or any of the other characters like the Time Patrollers and things like that, and their enemies. And oh, there's just, and don't even get me started on the manga. There's so much content they could pull from for years on end, and we will always be playing long enough to look at that and be like, oh my god, yes, can't wait for that character to come out. Could you imagine Moro? Could you imagine Granola? Gas? Black Frieza? We still don't got Ultra Ego yet? Oh my god, man. They have so much room to cook. So much room. We know for a fact that they're waiting to give us any Daima content, because the only thing we know about Daima is that they got turned into kids. That's completely it. That's all we know. That's the extent of our knowledge. But that's the beauty of it, man. There's so much room for stuff, and I can't wait. I really, really, really cannot wait. I'm excited. Now, with all of that being said, there's a lot of things that I love about the game. Now it's time to flip the coin over and talk about some of the things that I'm not as okay with. I think that's kind of a dramatic way of putting it. I can live with this stuff. It's just kind of annoying, and we live in an era where updates are a very constant thing, so I don't know, maybe I'd like to see some updates and things along the way, but we'll play it by ear. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. The first thing that I absolutely am upset about, for sure, is the lack of true what-ifs and rewards, especially after a certain point. Now, like I said, right from the get-go, the best thing you can do for yourself is hop into the story mode and get as many characters and as much as many player levels and stuff like that as you can, right? It is worth it, don't get me wrong. However, after a certain point, it gets kind of redundant, and you're pretty much going through a lot of these other stories for the sake of just seeing what happens if you diverge a path. And sometimes those diverging paths really aren't worth it. Maybe you'll have the occasional, oh, this character beats this character a little bit earlier and the day is saved, and it just stops there. Nothing changes, nobody does anything different, it's just whatever. And then sometimes even be an occasion where you'll hit a diverging path, and all that will do is maybe lead to one cutscene or one fight, and it'll lead you right back into the main path. I said this in one of my previous videos, I guess minor spoiler alert, it's been 2 weeks now, but Piccolo kind of has something like that really early on, and that's really weird to me, because they could have easily done more with somebody like Piccolo, who is clearly a very, integral character to this franchise, to the series. It's literally Toriyama's favorite character. Rest in peace, big man. So it's very weird to me when we have A, these diverging paths that don't lead anywhere, B, these diverging paths that lead right back into the main story that we already know, or C, they cap off at a certain point for whatever reason. Explain to me why Vegeta's story ends so early. Vegeta was there for all of Super. Like, what's going on there? Why did his story cap off so early? That's really strange to me. I don't know why they decided to go ahead and do that. And then, obviously, I guess, I don't know. You could talk about Gohan, you could talk about Trunks. It is really weird, though, with Trunks. They start at a very odd spot. Why? I couldn't tell you. And then, of course, there's the fact that the rewards after a certain point aren't as worth it anymore. There's a certain point where you don't really need as much Zenny anymore. There's a point where you cap off player levels and you just don't get any more experience for doing, story mode or anything like that. And it kind of sucks, because if they ever update the game and we get, like, a new cap, like level 30 or 50 or something crazy like that, we'll just have lost all of those points to the void. Why? Why did we do this? Why did we cap off so early? One day down the line, if they've got the extra money, which they will for sure have after selling 3 million plus in under 24 hours, I know they've got money. I hope that one day they do just go ahead, decide to lock in and add some updates to a lot of the stories that are available already for Dragon Ball, because there's a lot of potential in diverging paths and things like that, and there's a lot of cases where that, like, really shines. There's times where it really, really does shine, and I would like for that to happen with more characters that are available to play as. So if they could go ahead and lock in with that, I would love it, because the what-ifs are what make this story mode completely worth it, and they could absolutely do just a little bit more. After that, of course, another thing that's definitely a little more on the disappointing side is the really weird lack of amount of cosmetics right now. Only a certain few characters have like a decent amount of cosmetics to choose from, and it's not very many. It's like a solid handful. Goku obviously has plenty to choose from. Gohan definitely has a lot to choose from. Piccolo has 2-3 things to choose from, maybe. But it's really weird, right? Because there's certain cosmetics for some people, but not for others. Why can Goku, Vegeta, and Frieza get halos, but nobody else can? Why can't Piccolo get a halo? Why can't Yamcha get a halo? Why can't Tien or Krillin get a halo? They were dead canonically too. Hell, if I wanted to, why can't I put a halo on Boo? Why can't I put a halo on Tapion or something? That's kind of weird. That should be a more general cosmetic. That's very strange. What if I want to put a scouter on somebody else, man? What if I want a scouter on Gohan for fun? Why not? Just slap them on the model. I don't think it's all that crazy to want something like that. It makes it feel like I'm actually playing, my own version of the character when I can actually modify the cosmetics and stuff that they're wearing. I don't think it's all that crazy to ask for something like that. And yet, the lack of cosmetics is insane. How are you going to sit there and tell me that Videl has 2 outfit choices? What? We have Z Broly in here. Why don't we have her outfit from Broly's Second Coming? Why don't we have her modern outfit from modern Videl? Even Xenoverse got modern Videl. What's going on here? I'm just saying, yo, it's really weird that so many of these characters have no access to cosmetics, and I really hope that I'm just missing something, or that we get more updates down the line that allow us to, you know, get really flexible with the cosmetics, because y'all can play around a little bit more, man. y'all could do a little bit more. I'm just putting it out there. Hey, give us the Naruto fit back, man. That Goku wore back in Battle of Z, bro. Give us that fit. That would go crazy. I'm just saying, there's so many different options, and hopefully down the line, they lock in and give us those cosmetics. If we gotta pay for a bundle of them, we'll see. We'll see. They will have most of my money for this game. Can't even argue. Now, this one here is probably the biggest issue, and it's the character select screen and the timer that comes with it when you're playing online. Oh my god. Okay, firstly, the character select screen, never really been that much of a fan of. Like, coming off of Budokai Tenkaichi 3, or even like Raging Blast, where things felt a little more organized, in which you have this saga of characters, and this saga of characters, and this saga of characters, when you rotate the little thing on the top or whatever, and you could pick from those differentiating characters, and when you click those characters, you would see their list of animation, or not, transformations, excuse me, and you'd be able to choose from that. Why is everything laid out on one side so awkwardly, and we have to scroll through the entire list, like practically squinting to try to find the character that we want to play as? That is such a mess, especially when trying to do it, fighting a timer that gives you no time, whether it be for DP, mostly for single battle, it's fine, whatever. 45 seconds is more than enough time to pick one character. But team and DP, that is your worst enemy. That is going to be your worst enemy, because if you don't know exactly who you're going to pick out before you get online and get started, you might be cooked. you genuinely might be cooked, and it's going to happen a couple of times where you're looking for a character and you miss them, because again, you have to squint looking for those characters and you just miss them, and you run out of time, and you're either stuck with who you got or you have one less of a character, or maybe two, depending on where you are. So that's definitely something that needs to be looked into. I think that's like the most major thing I hate the most, and that needs to be looked into. The character select screen I can live with, but not the timer. Not if it's going to be like that. This cannot be this way forever. Update that timer, please, especially at the very least for DP battles and team battles. That's all I ask, please. In a similar vein, why can't we have like simpler lobby situations for our friends, right? Why is it that when I want to go into a quick battle, it's the same as making a lobby for a friend? It's like, what? Why can't I just make a regular ass lobby with buddies that I can modify and stuff like that, right? If I'm playing with a friend, right, there's no reason that there should be a timer on choosing our characters, especially for DP or team battles, because if I'm playing with a friend, that means I've somehow contacted them to play with me. Why is there a timer? We can rush each other through the mic. We don't need to be rushing each other, or we don't need to be rushed by the timer in of itself. That's crazy. And then, of course, the lobby situation needs to be fixed. It's very weird that before even getting into things, you have to make the lobby, and you have to ask them right then and there, do you want single, teams, or DP battles? You can't just change the lobby rules while in the lobby with all the people that you're going to be playing with. Why? Why not? That's super weird. I feel like this is a problem for a lot of different fighting games as well. This isn't the first time it happened, but I feel like this could definitely be adjusted, right? I don't see why not. So, something to lock in on. Maybe we can modify the friend lobbies a little bit more so they feel a little more unique and they feel a little more differentiated from the quick battles and things like that, because there's no reason as to why they should be set up that way. They work and they're quick, and I appreciate that, but we can touch up on it a little bit more. The next thing that I say I dislike a lot is the imbalance of certain characters in terms of stats, right? For example, recently I have gotten really into Janemba. I like his character a lot. I want to keep playing him and learning him. How is it that Nappa and Z Broly have 4 bars of health, but Janemba doesn't? Right? Now, I could absolutely make the argument for Z Broly having a 4th health bar and stuff like that, because it's Z Broly. Not only is he popular, he's strong as hell. He's literally the legendary Super Saiyan. a very popular character, even though Z Broly isn't canon. Why is Nappa on par with that? And how is Janemba not? I'm telling you right now, put Super Saiyan 3 Goku in any of the Broly movies, any of the early Broly movies, he's cooking him. Easily. Why is Janemba weaker? It has to be a popularity thing, right? I know not a lot of people are as attached to Janemba as a character, and that's fine, I get it. But canonically, Janemba should have 4 bars of health if somebody like Z Broly or even Nappa gets that. I don't know. That just doesn't really add up to me. So, and there's a couple of characters like that, none that come to mind off like rip, but I don't know. There's plenty of characters that deserve a lot better than they got, and I think that they could definitely do some touch-ups on some characters in design. Bardock, give him some more voice lines. Please, I beg you, let Bardock have more voice lines. I'm not kidding. That is my main. Give him more. He deserves so much better. Another thing, this one's kind of on the minor side. I don't really, want to mess with this one as much because it's not that big of a deal. But I will say, personally, I don't think I'm as in love with the clashing mechanics as I would like to be. Right? Now, we do have our beam clashes, which aren't like spinning the stick anymore. It's just timing your button presses, kind of like Budokai 3, which, sure, I guess it saves people's remotes and things like that, but I don't know, there was just something so different about the intensity of spinning the joystick, man, of just burning your hand to try and outdo your opponent in terms of key blasts and things like that. It makes it a lot more intense. Now it's just like you're timing it and you could definitely mess up and it'll still be like, oh no, but it just doesn't hit the same as like locking in and doing that. Because I know for a fact, man, this battlefield would be so different with the clashes if we had it that way. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. I'm just saying, the beam clashes, the regular like hand-to-hand clashes, the trades, they just don't hit as hard, I guess. And I guess the trades are okay. I've tested a couple of times to see like exactly how it works. I'm still not 100% sure on how it worked, but I don't know. I don't think mashing is the right way to do it. Maybe it is, but I don't know. Point is, I'll live with it, but it's not as intense, but it's okay. The rest of the battles usually are intense even without the clashes, which are kind of rare, actually. So, I'll be fine. And then the last major thing, I think, is the fact that there is no crossplay. Why is there... I'm sure that this is a thing that's going to get implemented at some point in the future, because this game is multi-platform. It's on PlayStation, it's on Xbox, it's on PC. It's on pretty much everything, except Switch. Why does it have crossplay? There's no situation in which an imbalanced game like this wouldn't have access to crossplay. Why not? I don't see the issue here as to why there isn't. And maybe it's just something that they're still working towards and things like that. So maybe we'll see some crossplay in the future. But the fact that I had to buy a second game to be able to play with my friends on Xbox while I still have a bunch of friends that are playing it on PS5, kind of ridiculous. I guess it does kind of incentivize them to, get more money out of that get more money out of us by making people buy the game multiple times. But I don't know. I think it's just a little on the annoying side that we couldn't get more not more, but just generally crossplay to be able to play with our friends. I don't know. I think it's weird. But anyhow, that just about does it for my list of 7 things I like and 7 things I hate about Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Overall, this game is phenomenal. I'm going to be playing it for the rest of time, and if they ever make a sequel, God forbid they make a sequel, I'm going to be just as locked in as I was here, and I can't wait for that day. But until then, we're going to be locked in here. We're going to be playing ranked forever. We're going to get as high as we can in the rankings. We're going to be playing it really often for months to come, and it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait for the DLC to come out. So we're going to be in there, but that just about does it for that. Now, before we go, I do have a quick little announcement. New channel. I'm going to be putting it everywhere, and I'm going to be on there as often as I possibly can, right? I figured during this time of all these different games releasing and all these games that I want to play, but all these games that I also want to get content for and stuff like that, I figured, you know what? I may as well have somewhere an outlet where I can do live commentary and be able to post reactions comfortably to specific game moments and things like that, and be able to just you know, be able to record and just have fun and maybe even stream more often, right? So here's what we're doing. Thanks to Dragon Ball Sparking Zero kicking things off here for the idea, we have developed Soul Battle Mode, right? The channel is here. It doesn't have anything on there just yet. I'm going to be posting the new video very soon. Maybe by the time that you guys see this one, first video will probably be up. It might be a repost of one of the videos that I posted on this channel. So, you know, just keep an eye out. Maybe it'll be that. Maybe it'll be something different. But we're going to be on there almost daily, just playing some Dragon Ball, doing like ranked Dragon Ball stuff. We're going to be playing Rivals of Aether 2 when that comes out in like a week or something like that. We might do a blind playthrough of Sonic X Shadow Generations, because that's going to be awesome. We're probably going to do something of... yeah, we're going to do another ranked situation as well for Bleach, whatever. Either way, we're going to be playing the Bleach game when it comes out next year, and maybe we'll do more Let's Plays, maybe we'll do a lot more streams and things like that. I don't know. I just think that it's going to be fun. So, I'll put the link in the description and things like that so that we can lock in on this. But other than that, I think that just about wraps it up for this video here. So, again, if you want to see me play more Sparking Zero and stuff like that, it's going to be flooded on that channel over there so that this channel can get all of its primary discussions and reviews and things like that like I had originally planned. So, we'll keep this here. We'll flood that channel with gameplay stuff over there. Cool? Cool. Now, we're passing the mic over to you, and I want you guys to tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below. Do you agree with my loves and hates? Do you think that Dragon Ball is really, really good and it could use a couple of updates and things like that, but otherwise it's awesome? Or do you think that this game is detrimental without a lot of these updates and it needs to be fixed immediately? Tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below, because you know for a fact that I am always, always, always going to be down there with you guys. But with that, it does appear to be skedaddle o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and do just that. I would like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this here. And with that, I'm gone. So, thanks again. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time.